I remember as a little kid, I liked to play in the mud. I mean, what little kid doesn't? I mean, little boys, mud's second nature, second home. Anyways, I don't remember where exactly we were, but there was this one place that was lots of mud, and I remember sloshing through in my little black rubber boots, and you know, it's hard on the legs, and I'm getting tired, and inevitably I lost my balance, and I fell forward, and my hands went into the mud, and at first it was okay because I just kind of slapped the mud, and then my hands began to sink. And I'd push down on one hand to pull the other one up, and it would sink. And anyways, you know how that goes. And the next thing you know, I think I am gonna die. This is it. Nice knowing you. I will sink into the mud, and no one will ever find me. Well, of course, that didn't happen. I did get out of the mud and got home. Was very upset, very scared, very traumatized as a child, but I got over it. It was very scary then, but mud doesn't scare me anymore because I got out of it. Um, and I was thinking about that. I had a conversation today with somebody about this last year, some of the stuff that I'd gone through, and what I'm still going through, and I'm working through, and how I'm getting past it. And it was fine until I got in my car, and I was uh, struck by the sorrow, and I was reminded of how I felt a year ago, just devastated. And it was hard, and it was hard, and then, like sorrow does, it knocked me off my feet, and I couldn't get out. And I thought that was it, and it was over, and I was broken. It's easy to think that way. It's easy to feel that way about things that we're going through and think that this is it. I mean, Paul said we were sorrowful even unto death. I mean, that's what it makes you feel. It makes you feel like life is over. It knocks you off balance, and the next thing you know, you fall down, and then you can't get up, and it just seems the farther down you go, the deeper it gets. And as I was contemplating that and where I'm at right now, I was reminded of Psalm 40, where the psalmist says, He picks me up out of the miry clay or the miry pit. And I'm like, that's sorrow. That's just not able to pull your feet out. That's knocking you off balance. That's that sinking feeling that nothing's ever going to go right. But God says, um, He picks us up out of that. He puts our feet upon a rock. And it's one thing to be, to be saved and still and look down at the pit and still, feel feel that fear and terror of what you just went through, and to focus on the mud that's sticking to your leg, the reminder of where you were. But God doesn't stop there. Through the psalmist, he says he not only picks me up out of the miry pit and sets my feet upon a rock. It says he puts a new song in my mouth. He gives me a greater understanding of who he is and how much he cares and how much he loves us. And see, so we have a Savior who is acquainted with with sorrow. I mean, he knows because he lived it. And because he lived it, he empathizes with us and walks with us. And a lot of times someone said, God is the light at the end of the tunnel in this. And it's like, no, God was never the light at the end of the tunnel. He was the hand that held me in the darkness. In Micah, it says, though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. And that is such a truth that we can hold on to. That we're in the darkness, the Lord is with us, giving us light, giving us warmth, saying, I'm going to pick you up out of this. Sometimes it's not immediate. Sometimes we go through the struggle. Sometimes that struggle takes a while to get through, but God says he will pick us up. He will put a new song in our mouth. He will give us hope in the future. Hope that is because we've gone through this, God will continue to take us through the things that we're going through, because in this life, you will have trouble. In this life, you will have sorrow. In this life, you will have loss. In this life, you will have pain. God says, I give you my peace. I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to set your feet on a rock, and I'm going to give you a new song. Hope that's an encouragement to you. God bless.